go beyond what is happening. Think out of the box. Have a vision for our students where we are talking to them, where we are making a curriculum, where we are making our activities in such a way that they are open minded. They are always a lifelong bearers of skills. That's what we have in our mission statement also, that we believe in making our student as lifelong bearers of skills.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Great Principles. I am Seema Choria. I bring to you another renowned figure from the world of Indian academia. The only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible. We are aware that the genes are passed on to the next generation and their traits and characteristics are inherited. Physical attributes and mannerisms confirm the lineage, but when genes are passed on and fulfilled, we get to know the intensity of those desire was reached to fulfillment. My guest today was inspired by her mother's desire to become an educator, and today she is going to walk down the memory lane, talk to us about achieving the status and many more. We have with us Mrs. Tripti Parekh, Associate Vice President, Vibgyor Group of Schools, Academic Operations Pan India. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you for inviting me for this. It's my pleasure.
We are looking forward to an insightful discussion today, and ma'am has an expertise in this field. So I'm sure many of the ambiguity is going to be removed today, and my viewers are going to get a lot of insights. So let us begin where it all started, ma'am. Your Once Upon a Time is an inspirational story of a daughter who went on to actualize her mother's dream of becoming a teacher. And today you have achieved so much more, than just being a teacher. You are leading one of the topmost brands in India in education sector. So how did your mother react to your achievements in the field of education?
My mother, if I tell you, she is speechless. For me to enter this industry, of course, as you mentioned, was my mother's dream. She herself wanted to be a teacher right from her childhood. Unfortunately, she was not able to because of the language barriers that she had after post her marriage. So when I entered this industry in 2000, then it was my mother's dream that I was fulfilling. But over the years, with the mentors that I had in the industry, the guidance that I got from my seniors, my mother's inspiration, and I reached this level. So reaching this level, of course, took me 20 years, but my mother is very happy and she's generally speechless, and the happiness is always seen in her eyes and not in her words, I should must say.
I'm sure, ma'am. For mothers, we children are always, their stars. And when you have achieved so much, I'm sure what all she must be feeling in her heart. So certainly a proud moment for her and for you also. Going ahead in our conversation, ma'am, leading a team of educators and that too at pan India level is, I'm sure, feat many wish and hardly many must be feating for this and wishing for this, but hardly few achieve this vision. So it's an, very huge responsibility to take up. So tell me, ma'am, what are the various responsibility of a school head at pan India level?
Vipure is one of the only institutions that I've worked in. I've worked in many institutions, but I can tell you about Vipure. Like this is one institution where I've seen that we believe in a lot of systems and processes. Everything that we do at Vipure has a system, has a process which is documented and given. So for us as school heads, or even the different department that are heading the schools, the systems and processes are something which we need to follow. There's a planning done to the T for each and every minute thing that we do at school level, how we will do the implementation, which is standard across the country in all our schools, and also how we check the quality. Now, planning and execution and implementing it to schools is pretty done by other schools. But are we maintaining that quality at grassroots level? This is something which I have seen that it's a robust system at WebCure, which I really admire. And as Pan India academic head, we need to ensure that whatever is planned from the academic point of view, whatever the teachers are supposed to implement, it is executed well. We do the quality checks, we have audits. At the same time, we also train our teachers and our academic staff. In case we find them that they're not up to the mark, then we have a proper plan of action where we train our teachers over 1 month, 2 months, and we bring them to the level where we need our teachers to be. So this is something which is our role as heading this department, where right from the content, the training, the processes, the operations, everything is taken care of. And be it any part of the country, it is just the same. You enter one school in Mumbai or you enter one school in Bangalore, it works the same way. So this is a major responsibility of all our heads, that whatever is given to us by our head office, whatever we make as now as AVP role, what we make at school level, we ensure that it is implemented well by each and every staff member at school.
And I think that is what makes it the number one brand today, because uniformity is the key. Wherever we go, we need to have that uniformity.
Yes.
Setting up a process is easier, executing is a little difficult, but when it comes to doing it constantly and giving out the same result consistently, that is where the key lies. So as Ben mentioned, it's not only about setting a process and executing it, auditing it, vouching it for quality assurance, that is what makes a successful school. And yes, also another very important part was upskilling your teachers constantly. If we find that they're lagging somewhere, train them, teach them, and see that the quality of education is intact. So wonderful, ma'am. This is something, which needs to be practiced throughout. And that is when, the entire country system can be, developed better. Because when we go to foreign nationals, especially I was interviewing a principal from UAE a few days back, and he told me that there are regular audits from government, even in private schools, that has to be mandatorily done. And that is why the quality of education is intact. So great. Similar lines, Vibgyor is also following. Going ahead in our next question. Do awards and rewards justify your efforts in education? We all definitely love when we are rewarded. And who doesn't like recognition, right? So what is your take on this?
Being in the education sector, I must say that the award is best reaches us when it is the success of our schools and our students. But yes, as you mentioned, all of us are individuals and we love to be rewarded. So the most recent award that I got as the most outstanding educational role model is very important and dear to me, because this was one of the awards where the applications were accepted from around the world. And getting this award holds value, and I feel happy that I am able to serve to our students well, and I found myself fortunate enough for this award.
Great. Congratulations, ma'am, on this achievement of yours. And yes, certainly.
Thank you.
What happens is when you receive an award, then that is a benchmark that, okay, now I have to do much better. So with recognitions also come another level of responsibility for ourselves, right?
True. So with the awards, it's more responsibility, because we need to at least keep on evolving and keep on bringing better systems so that it helps our students.
Certainly. So going ahead, ma'am, many times, appreciation is overdone by criticism also. And awards are also questioned. People have some different opinions all the times. There are highs, there are lows. And as you're heading pan-India level, there will be so many things where you also require advice, support, and help. So tell me one educationist, or name any educationist you look up for your inspiration, advice, and support.
As an educationist, I look up to my vice chairperson, Ms. Kavita Sahai Kerawala. I see her as a person who is a catalyst, who can transform the world, who can inspire the young generation and help them grow. She has been a part of us, Vibgyor team, right from the inception years. She's one who strives for change and is constantly working on new initiatives for the overall development of the child. We have a pan-India event, Vibgyor Viva. We have our own Model United Nations conference, which is best in the city and in the country, Vibgyor Month. And we have many other projects, be it government projects, be it Anganwadi, going to the masses and teaching them. She's a part of everything. She's one inspiration who is always like, you go to her and says, yes, let us do it for our students. So she's one person whom I really admire and I look up to for any guidance that I need. I've learned a lot from her.
Certainly, with such leaders heading such an institution, I'm sure the country's future is in safe hands. So, ma'am, tell me, now you're since with this group for a long time and you're also in this domain, what would be your advice to the school leaders if they want to make one change in their academics? What would be that change you would like them to do it?
Only in academics you want me to tell?
Ma'am, you can tell in other fields also, since it is your forte. So I just asked about academics.
Okay. So what I've seen in all the organizations where I've worked in the past also, what I have seen is we are following one pattern of education in most of our schools. So my message to the rule makers or the education industry people would be that go beyond what is happening. Uh, just think out of the box. Have a vision for our students where we are talking to them, where we are making a curriculum, where we are making our activities in such a way that they are open minded. They are always a lifelong bearers of skills. That's what we have in our mission statement also, that we believe in making our student as lifelong bearers of skills. So as education uh, people, we all should make a system in such a way that we make skills more important rather than content to be important. This is one message that I would like to give to rule makers of our society.
Wonderful, a very important message out there. And this is what is essential today, because what is happening today will become obsolete tomorrow. You never know. So we need to make our children ready for all the challenges coming up. So on this note, ma'am, we reach to the wonderful segment of the show, which is called Rapid Fire Round. You have to answer in one word or a statement.
Sure.
So here goes the first question. You spend your recreational time indulging in activities like
Cooking and driving.
cooking and driving, all right. So tell me one tiffin recipes which children can have, which is nutrition and of course quick to make.
For any age group, I think sandwiches goes well. So healthy sandwiches with no potatoes and all will be healthy for any age group, right from, you can say, pre-primary child to an old person. So this is one thing which is always you can carry and have it at any point of time.
Certainly, this is very quick and super hit tasty recipe for all the age groups. Going ahead, ma'am. Tell us a funny or a weird incident in your life.
Uh, when a grade 11 child came to propose me when I was a teacher.
All right, yes. Okay, so that was actually funny incident. Great, but
Yeah.
we must, as we say that children they look up to their educators for everything. So maybe God knows. All right, your favorite cuisine?
Punjabi.
Punjab. The dish you are famous for in your family, friends, and other circles.
The dish I'm famous for. Chole bhature.
All right, wonderful. So to all my viewers, ma'am makes amazing chola bhature and she's famous for this.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Sure, we would love to, ma'am. I'm a foodie too. If you had two wish to grab from the Aladdin's Chirag, what would be your two wishes?
A good health and peace and happiness for everyone.
Wow, this looks like a dream, peace and happiness for everyone. Wonderful. May your wishes come true. Teachers are not adventurous, true or false?
False.
So how can we make our teachers more adventurous, ma'am? These days children want, very happening class, very interactive class. So how can we do that?
That's what I mentioned when I spoke about WebGyor. We are training them, we are giving them training in such a way that the classes go lively. And teachers can be adventurous because this is what we see in the class. The classes are so engaging by our teachers that I can say they are adventurous. I won't say all, but most of our teachers, the way we train, the way our curriculum is designed, they are adventurous.
So continuous upskilling of teachers, that is required, and that is what makes them, abreast with what children today needs.
Yeah, teachers come with their own training, their B.Ed courses, and how they have learned. It is up to us as educational institutions to mold them, train them about how a good teaching should be.
Certainly, and in every career, when you get the growth and you evolve, you also like to be the part of it. And like WebGyor constantly do this, this is what keeps the teachers intact with this institute.
True.
So this brings me to the last question of the show, which is called Viewers Choice Question. My viewers keep sending me many questions. So my parents have sent me this, that we as parents keep jumbling between different boards, different kind of setup in the school. So what advice you would give us that how should we choose the right school?
So this is the right question for me, as I'm a part of WebGyor. WebGyor offers all the three boards, which is Cambridge, ICSE, as well as CBSE. In all the cities, you will see a combination of all the boards. The requirement for a parent differs from person to person. So I won't be able to give you a like a standard advice. But yes, based on the parent that comes to me, we have a set of questions about where they are, what is their job, what is their future plan, and then we advise the parent about which school they should be a part of. Because I cannot say that this board or this school or this brand is better. I need to understand the requirements of a parent, and then I can guide the parents. That's one reason we are offering all the boards, and that helps the parent to make the right choice.
Absolutely wonderfully answered. So, all the boards are good, my dear parents. There is nothing wrong with any board. It's the schools, the board just gives the guidelines. It's the school, those who, design their own syllabus, design their own curriculum, and they have their own set of clubs in the school. And that is what makes school different from others. So, boards are not the decision. Your board doesn't define that which school you should opt for. And that is the reason that we have all kinds of boards, which every board has their own positives, has their own frameworks. So yes, great, ma'am. Wonderfully answered all the questions, and we thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you. It was a delight to have you. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. We feel really privileged.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.